Hey guys, it's Matt again, coming to you with another deck profile for Shenron. There's probably going to be a lot of deck profiles for Shenron going around. There's probably going to be a lot going around on our channel as well, because Shenron's just such a versatile, leader. The reason why he's so good is because you can pretty much just play him with anything. It makes the leader is just really solid, and it just makes decks that used to be slow or needed some extra oomph go a little bit faster. So I'll get into it just to talk to you a little bit more about it. His permanent is that you cannot attack with his leader, which is one of the newer things that we've seen for leaders like this, but it kind of makes sense for the fact that Howard Dragon Ball is going to attack you, and also that his effect is pretty good. All of his effects are pretty good. He has Activate Main that you switch his card to Rest Mode, and you search your deck or your life for 2 Dragon Balls add to your hand. So he's pretty much drawing 2 cards and thinning your deck by 2 cards, really good. And then when he just wishes, like usual, 7 Dragon Balls and then drop, you flip him over. He's just like all the other leaders, except for his Wish effect and then his permanent. He still can't attack on this side, but he's 15 base still, so it's pretty okay. Then we have his effect that you can draw a card, you can play a Desire for free, or you can remove 7 Dragon Balls. It gains triple attack and 10k to something that on the field. So it's pretty good. Let me get into this deck. Just a little preface, I guess. Preface to this video. This deck profile was my own. Got the idea from a friend named Torrin Wallace. He's a really good player, and he just came up with this deck on the fly and went undefeated with the Shenron deck. I did pretty well as well, but he obviously did a lot better. He's just a really good player, and he came up with this idea. It was very good. I made my own list. I didn't ask him for a list or anything. I saw a couple cards he was playing, generally figured out how the deck worked, and just went from there. So I played 3 of the Bulma God Tempter. This deck is literally just trying to ramp as fast as you can to get to your cards. And so we play Bulma just to get to these guys because they're reusable. Bulma just searches them, pretty much. You don't have that many early turn plays. So grabbing Bulma for later using Bulma to grab Whis for later is really good. Because we play, our turn 2 plays usually are going to be Objection, and turn 3 plays are going to be usually Objection. There's not much to be said. Objections is a really solid card. You want to see it as fast as you can so you can ramp. You want to get to turn 7 you want turn 7 mana on turn 4 pretty much. That's why we ramp so much. So we play that. Sorry, let me pick up the stack of cards. We play 2 of these Beeruses and 2 of these Beeruses. The reason why is because, like I said, we're gonna ramp as fast as we can. And these Beeruses are really good because if you give either one triple attack off your leader, just puts your opponent to a significant disadvantage. It's kind of like discarding the whole hand, or if you catch them in a really rough spot, these cards just go in really. They're just really strong cards. I wouldn't ever run more than each. I could cut this guy down to 1, but when I'm playing this deck, usually I'm trying to figure out what to charge. And if I see early game, if I see either of these, I'll probably charge them because I know I have 1 of each left in the deck. Or if I see 1, I'll charge it because I know I have 3 targets. So vice versa for the other one, so on and so forth. It's pretty much why we play this. If you guys don't know, this is a set 1 card. It's a really good card. It's a 7-drop triple strike. When you play this card, your opponent, or when you attack with this card at a leader, your opponent has to drop 2 cards, and if they don't, they have to KO all of their energy and battle cards. So they're going to probably choose to drop 2 cards, but it's every time it attacks a leader. So if you give this triple strike, it's going to be a 30k or 35k, a triple strike, triple attack, and they got to drop 2 cards every time. So This deck loses hardcore to Mafuba, just want to point that out. So that's why you play this guy. If you don't know what this guy does, it's a card Torm's playing that I really liked. I think he got the idea from somebody else, I'm not too sure, but this card is really good. He played it he played a couple of them. I only played one because I could only find one, but it's also that, like, you'll see all your cards because you're drawing so much from the Dragon Balls, and you're going to just be going through your deck as, like, really fast. So it's kind of like you're going to see this. So you don't need to run that many. What he does is he's a double strike, and when he attacks, your opponent can't activate counter or blocker. So if you give him triple attack, he's going to be a 40k double striker base if you don't combo with it. So, and they can't negate, so they have, or block, so they have to combo with this, or combo out from this guy's attack, which is more cards coming out of their hand, which is really good. I would play this guy because we need something to remove barrier cards. There's a lot of troublesome barrier cards going around. This deck really doesn't, I'm not going to say care, but it's not too worried about swarm decks, because usually you're going to be getting the advantage, or even if you can't, like, you have so many negates and so many 10k cards to combo with that little cards poking you a lot isn't going to hurt you all that much. You just got to play around it pretty much. There's not enough room to play cards in this deck that gets around it. Like, you can play Kami, but I find myself having so many cards on the field that I want when my opponent's board is established, and I have Kami, but, like, my board is kind of like cards I want, and so I'm negating 2. It's really annoying, and it's a waste of a turn. That's why I don't play Kami. Kami's really good. I wouldn't say anything bad about Kami whatsoever. He's amazing, but for me, when I was playtesting, I never got to use Kami. I never even played, like, a Hirudegarden deck or anything that's spammed. Like, this veggie deck is scary, but, like, you can get around it pretty easy because they don't really combo that much, because they're saving pieces for later, or they're saving for that one big push. So when you get to that point where they're trying to save for that one big push, you play Gogeta, because what he does, if he's a new card, that you ping a card from your life, put it in the drop area, and your opponent has to shuffle their hand and draw 3 cards. It's pretty good, very good. It has deflect 2 and barrier, triple strike, so you can give this thing triple attack if you want to as well. It's a triple strike, triple attack, pretty good. We play this guy because he is a dual attack 40k, and when he attacks, your opponent has to take a life and take an energy and put him in the drop area. And he's swinging twice. I'm pretty sure you can give this triple attack too, so it can swing 3 times. But yeah, he's pretty good. So your opponent's going to go down by 3 at that point. If you don't, like I said, if you don't think they have Mafuba, you just go in at that point. Mafuba is a very good card. Mafuba is the bane of this deck's existence. I tried putting yellow in it. Didn't really work that well. You have to, like, make this deck hardcore yellow. And then you lose out on, like, the ramping and the boss monsters. So it's kind of pointless at that point. We play 4 Queef's Coercion. I almost said Queef's Coercion. I don't know what the heck I was saying there for a second. Then we play 4 Sensu Bean. This is pretty much just the package you play just to defend yourself. There's more cards that I'll show you that defend yourself, but yeah. We play 2 of the Shenron Figure of Majesty. I probably would play more, but 2 is pretty good because you only need 1 out at the time you're about to use your leader effect, because you want to give that card critical. And there's just so many cards in this deck that you can use to, like, steamroll your opponent. So I didn't play this card, but I just put it in because I found that when I played my Beerus's, like, you can imagine, okay, you're having a rough time in a game, alright, with using this deck, and you see this, and my leader's, like, obviously flipped over at that point. I have this on the field, and I'm very much tempted to use my leader effect, to give him 10, he's going to be 35 base, but he's going to be discarding cards on my, you see, and the problem is that if they have, like, a good sized hand, it doesn't even have to be a massive hand, they're probably going to be able to get around this guy swinging 3 times. So I've done it multiple times, and I'm just thinking, I swing with this, they live, but they're significantly damaged. But it also puts me in a range where I'm able to be just killed at that point, because my leader goes back over this front, and he just doesn't do anything, which is really annoying. So in that world, I just have to pretty much keep digging, and hopefully, I'll hit something. But I have found that when I do that, I'm usually able to keep myself alive for one or a few turns, but there's a lot of cards in this game, discard cards, so I played this guy. If you don't know what he does, is when you play him, you warp a opponent's card, which is pretty good already for a 4-drop. It's okay, it's not too great. But he has a Sparking 7 effect that when he attacks, you can take 2 life, and your opponent takes, you warp one of your opponent's life. So it's really good when they're trying to hang on to that 1 life, because usually when you're swinging, if they do so, this deck hits really hard in 1 turn, and if they do so happen to get around the big guys swinging, they're usually going to be left out 1 or 2 life, and this card's really good at just getting rid of it. So he's a good finisher. There's another one. It's a 3-drop Mass Saiyan Vegeta, I'm pretty sure. It's way better than this card, but I don't play enough Saiyans to be able to play it, so that's why I play him. He's just a good finisher as well. This deck is just has a lot of really good finishers. As you imagine, the keystone to this deck is World Peace. What World Peace does is you can play a battle card. You play this, you can play a battle card that's whose cost is equivalent to how much mana you have. So you can play, if you have 7 mana, you can play 7 cost in your drop for 7. So it's really, really good. You're just like, even if you're on turn 5 or something, you can play 2 objections that turn, go to 7 mana, then use your leader to play this for free and play a 7-drop. It's really, really good. It makes it so that you can waste your mana. But the reason why we're wasting our mana in this case is just to get more mana. So you're pretty much skipping a turn and starting off 2 turns ahead of your next turn. So that's why we play this guy. This deck is pretty much just, like I said, steamrolling your opponent with big guys as early as you can. We play 2 Dragon Radar because, again, we need something that will... You want to try to be Wished Awakened at turn 2 or 3. That's pretty much a big point you want to make. And this helps you find cards that you need, pretty much. There's nothing more to say. It's a solid card. Would definitely play it in every Wish Leader deck. Play 4 of this guy. He's really good. Sparking 5. Does what super combos do. I play... This is very weird. I play 3 Power Burst. I play Power Burst for the fact that it's just sorry, excuse me, I can't speak. It's a negate that you can use to take a life and negate something with. And it's also like colorless, so you can use a black mana, you can use a blue mana. It's just a really good negate. I don't have a 1-drop in this deck that I actually can add back to my hand. I don't have room for it. I would try to play 1 Kami, but like, again, Kami wasn't too big at all. It wasn't necessary in any of my matches. Play 3 of this guy because you want to stay alive as long as you can, and this guy just is another super combo. And then there's 7 Dragon Balls. I don't play 1-drops or anything. They just kind of take up too much mana. Because usually you want to leave yourself with 1, and turn 2 you're going to play an objection. Leave yourself with 1 mana open, and you don't really want to play the 1-drop Dragon Balls because they'll just take up that 1 mana that you left open for yourself. But yeah, it's a deck profile. Just want to make sure again to say that this was not my original idea. The idea came from Torrin Wallace, a friend, a very good friend, and I just built this pretty much off of what I barely saw from 1 game. So yeah, if you guys like, please like. Let me know what you like about the deck. Tell me what you would change, of course. And just thank you guys for watching, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Bye.